Hey everyone, it's Jane McLeod. Hello, fans. I want to start by reading you something, an inspirational quote, if you will, and this is all about my topic today. So the quote says, "You can't pour from an empty cup. Treat self care like a divine responsibility." Are you practicing preventative care or ambulance driving? This means you, Jan Bailey. Daily practices that force you to slow down, tune in with your body, and replenish your cup make all the difference. Listen to your body when it whispers to you so you don't have to hear it scream. So, change fatigue is the number one cause of a loss of resiliency, or how it affects your well-being. And the topic today is recover. So, of the 4 R's, right? And that's ready, refresh, recover, and restore. I want to post these lives when you're in your stage, right? So right now, a lot of you may be finishing your workday, right? So a lot of you are leaders, you might be finishing your workday. And when in our lives have we ever experienced more changes happening? Pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, during shutdown, insane, both in our personal lives and our work lives. So away you go. You might be able to plow through a workday, maybe, right? Maybe successfully, just literally plow. But then what happens is you walk through the door, somebody says, "Hey, mom, what's for dinner?" Okay. And you are, right? You haven't given that a single thought. 98% of Americans don't think about what they're having for dinner, even at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So now it's 5:36. Someone asks you that, and you literally are suffering from decision fatigue. You can't possibly, you made 150 decisions today alone, 75 of them were likely wrong, right? And so you can't possibly make another one. It just can't happen. So recovery is all about making sure that when you go home, all right, a key sign of a loss of resiliency or burnout is feeling exhausted by your work. And that exhaustion most often shows up when we're home and going home on our way home. And guess what? That's when you walk through the door, the people that love you, respect you, can't wait to see you right after their day, tell you all about their day. That's when you have nothing left. So that quote that I read you at the beginning about replenishing your cup means the refresh topic I'm going to talk to you about means we have to refresh it during the day, but you also have to have something left when you go home so you recover, right? Like an intentional, how will I recover? Okay. So the first thing is to speak your truth. And sometimes when I teach this at the staff level, I will talk about having, postmortems at the end of the day. But I led people for a really long time, and I know when it's time to go, it's time to go, and people are bolting for the door, right? It's like, get me the hell out of here. I don't want to stay and do a postmortem huddle to say, okay, what could we have done differently today, right? However, when situations come up, work relationships, work incidents that happen are the number one cause of burnout, because what happens is they really speak negatively to you. You never get an opportunity to really recover from someone who was rude to you, something bad that was happened, a mistake that you made. Like, those are just really, really hurtful things. And so it's really important that you begin the habit of closing the day, just like I said about ready, right? Closing the day, but also closing the day in such a way that you are able to speak your truth. So that instead of letting little pebbles get swept under the rug, that you speak your truth before they become big boulders for you. Because what's sure to happen is you're going to take that home with you, right? You're going to take it home. So speak your truth when incidents happen to say, wow, that didn't go well, right? Or at least reflect upon it for yourself and prepare. I'm not going to take this home with me. I'm going to put it on a shelf. I've resolved what I'm going to do. I've made a plan. Okay. I've reached out to somebody. I've said, hey, can we talk tomorrow? Something, something didn't sit well with me today. Right. So speak your truth. Really, really important. The next thing is that having a BFF at work, having a best friend at work is one of the most vital things that you can do to recover more quickly from work. So that might be someone you take a walk with after work, okay? Someone that you ride back and forth to work with, someone that there's a glass of wine and a bit of chocolate, even just walking out to your car with your BFF from work and saying, dang, that was a day, right? That was a day. So women, not necessarily men, because men express friendship differently, but women state that when they have someone they consider to be their best friend at work, that they won't leave that workplace because that relationship is really, really important to them. So develop friendships, develop relationships where you can put a bow on the day, a ribbon on the day, talk about the day, maybe on your way home even, so that you don't carry it with you and let it fester inside of you. The next thing is don't overschedule yourself after work. So you're exhausted, right? You're too exhausted to even decide can of tuna or burger, right? And you're so exhausted and now you got to go do something. And we Americans tend to overschedule ourselves. Take turns with your spouse. Like you don't have to make every single event that you are invited to, right? What you say no to today feeds you, right? It's going to feed you tomorrow. So really give careful consideration. I used to have a private, rule with managing my social/activity calendar that I could only have one night after work where I went somewhere after work, one night a week, that I needed the rest of the time to go home and recover. I love to cook, so that's recovery for me, but and maybe it's not for you. But if you can, let's say you have a child active in sports right now, so that's taking up 2 or 3 nights a week, then you can't plan other things, right? You can't plan other things. You can't volunteer for church. You can't do those sorts of things. So the other advice that I have is maybe you already have a great recovery plan. Maybe you already do a great you have this routine that you do, this ritual on the way home. It's like, I drank God's gift to the world, which is Diet Pepsi, on the way home when I had an hour commute and listened to favorite music and talked. And I got caught up, on phone calls with my mom and my sister and, everybody. And so, but maybe elevate it. I was teaching this topic to an audience and a lady raised her hand and she goes, so you mean instead of just taking my 5-minute commute home, I should listen to my favorite music for an hour and just like avoid my house altogether? Nope, that's not what I mean. All right. So, but you know what? If that's what it takes, park further away. Allow yourself the opportunity to dissolve work off your back and move forward towards home, right? Close one, open another. Away you go, right? So, do you want to work for a place where work-life balance and resiliency and well-being is a core behavioral standard, right? You can check out our website, which is going to be very new soon, because we'd love to meet you out there. Schedule a call. Let's talk about it. Have a great evening recovering from work.